Hey everybody, it's Brian. Before I did this Seahawks stuff full time, I worked as a manager and senior leader, so I know how lonely it can be to try to find someone you trust to talk through people issues, org issues, process issues as you try to lead an organization. Ryan Cleveland of RyanCleveland.com is someone I trust to have those conversations with. He specializes in working with CEOs and business owners, and you can get a complimentary free discovery session to see if it's a good fit for you. Just go to RyanCleveland.com to sign up and start now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Real Hawk Talk post-game show. The Seattle Seahawks have beat the San Francisco 49ers. I'm seeing weird faces from Evan Hill and Jeff Simmons making me think that sound is not coming through. Let me know what's going on. What's those faces, guys?
Definitely an audio issue. I can't tell what's happening. Jeff, are you hearing that?
I'm hearing the same audio we heard in pregame.
It's okay, though. When you go on mute, Brian, it seems to go away, I think. You sound
still hearing
okay. Is it Grant Cohn farting in the background? What's
it's no. Oh man, that sucks. I'm not doing anything. So you still hearing it? All right, I'll go on mute. You guys kick it off.
Jeff, how the hell are you?
I unplugged my thing to hear it, but I can't hear it anymore.
Maybe it was you. But how are you feeling, dude?
I cannot believe that game, dude. That was awesome.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
First of all, we're really close to Thanksgiving. It's not a Thanksgiving day, but I've got some pumpkin pie with me. I don't even like pumpkin pie. Okay? I don't even like pumpkin pie. But can I just say something? Fuck the 49ers. Fuck Brock Purdy. Fuck Christian McCaffrey. Fuck George Kittle. Fuck that loser corner, whatever, Lenoir, what? I don't know how you say his name. Extension boy. In K9's face, talking shit on Twitter right now. Fuck Kyle Shanahan. Fuck David Lombardi. Fuck all these losers. Fuck every single one of them. It has been almost 6 fucking years since we've beat them and held them to 17 points or less. I don't know if you guys saw this stat, but literally the last time the Seahawks held them to 17 points or less was almost 6 years ago. It was week 13 of the 2018 season. It has been forever since Seattle has had a defensive performance like this against Kyle Shanahan. To me, Gino's going to get his credit for what he did on the game-winning drive, and he deserves it, especially bouncing back from that interception. My voice is dead from screaming during this game for the past few hours. He deserves all the credit for that. But to me, the story of the past 2 weeks is this Mike Macdonald defense that is showing up stout. Whatever they did 2 weeks ago before the bye, I know they choked the LA game, but the silver lining from that game was the run defense got on track. Seattle got on track defensively. They did it again today. There is reason to be hopeful with Mike Macdonald's ownership of this regime. There really is. This is one of the key things he was brought in for, right? Sean McVay murdering us year after year. Kyle Shanahan murdering us year after year. I went back to the freaking 49ers matchup history against us. Do you know how many times they would score 35, 40 points against us? 45 points? Unreal. 17 points today. And by the way, our offense was anemic for good portions of this game today, okay? Seattle's defense came to play. After the past 2 fucking weeks we had with a random retirement from a center, a cut of one of our linebackers, and all of the rumors that have been floating around this franchise, Seattle, Mike Macdonald brought hope back to Seattle. This is literally a game win that is potentially season-altering. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say, like, this win could have saved some people's jobs. Not Mike Macdonald's. I don't think that was ever in question. But, like, I think it literally affected the optics externally with this organization. So I'm stoked out of my mind. I hate this 49ers team. They're a bunch of losers. They suck. David Lombardi takes a fat fucking L today. Fat L, okay? You should have seen Grant Cohn's video of him, by the way, that he just did, dunking on him on Twitter. If you haven't seen it, go see it after this video. But oh my gosh, like, what a fucking win. Like, happy pre-Thanksgiving, motherfuckers. I love you. And to all the chat, I'm sorry. I told Brian this video was getting demonetized before the post-game show started. So fuck that fan base. Fuck that team. They all can go to hell. Eat it.
Let's see if we can get Brian in here. Yeah.
Humbly, let me just ask. There's ways to help with a demonetized video. You could super chat. You could join as a member. You could join as Patreon. So give the show a like and click subscribe. I'm going to put myself on mute to make sure I am not, like, is the sound better again?
Way better. Way better.
Okay, let me know if it get off. Jeff, I want to hear you go next. I will talk, but you go next.
I think the last time the Seahawks beat the 49ers was the Evan crab dance video in that, like, crap Seahawks season. And this game just feels, I want to, like, add what Evan said, but, like, it's so surreal right now that, dude, Brian is on the Niners field. This is not just the background. He's literally on the Niners field right now. Like, to where our show started in 2017, the fact that Brian's doing it from the freaking 49ers field. But I think I want to add, I know Evan's talking about saving the season, and sure, that's a good thing, but, like, this feels almost bigger than that. Like, this was a signature win for Mike McDonald, and me and Brian talked about it yesterday. There was talks like the vibes of the team were shot, and this season is a joke. And, like, I thought, and there were people, like, I saw there's one guy who was, like, trying to discredit the Rams, that the Seahawks played well against them. The Rams scored 30 points today, 5 touchdowns. Like, McDonald just went back to back with McVay and Shanahan, and their defense was awesome. And it took, like, a heroic game from Juwan Jennings. Some of those third down conversions, like, people were crushing the Seahawks. Like, the dude was awesome. Like, I hate Juwan Jennings. I can't stand him. Like, Devin's rant, I would add him in there. He's good. I don't like it. It took a heroic performance from Juwan Jennings just to get to 17 points. And, like, there were so many game balls for me to give out today. Like, listen, I was kind of melting down in our chat with the cuss all day. Like, it just felt like one of those games where the Seahawks played well, and, like, that was going to be the story, and they were going to lose. It just felt like they were so close to being good on that game. The offense was a little disjointed. Evan's right, but, man, Devin Witherspoon, Ernest Jones, the D-line, game balls, man. Like, Tyrese Knight was really good.
Jeff, your boy JSN. JSN!
Dude, everyone's telling me he was a bust. Brian had to go on a rant that this guy's a bust. 2 games in a row, McVay and Shanahan. JSN's the alpha receiver on the field, both games. The guy was so clutch today, and, like, they couldn't even tap into a lot of their offense because of how bad, again, the offensive line, the run game. I didn't think Ryan Grubb had a particularly good game until some of the drives in the second half. He had 2 very good drives, but, man, like, the Seahawks almost screwed it up with the same way that freaking Rams game, to come out and win that game on the road after, like, a turmoil-filled week. Another game ball, Olu. Olu was really solid today. But still, man, like, if you're not fired up, like, that's why Mike McDonald was brought in, to stop McVay and Shanahan. They've held them 13 points and 17 points. It is so much fun to watch good defense. Brian, you've been talking about it for years, but
yeah, you mentioned the 17 points, and you mentioned that it took a heroic effort from Juwan Jennings. I'd build on that and say they got 3 points off of a interception from Geno Smith. That was a terrible decision. Let's be real honest. It was a bad throw. It was unacceptable. He owned up to it, but can happen. It keeps happening. So 3 of those points, they held the 49ers to nothing on that drive. And then another 7 was Brock Purdy scrambles. So here's the thing, and I want to be real clear about this, guys. Mike McDonald completely outcoached Kyle Shanahan in this game. Completely. The only plays that were made in this game, other than maybe I could say 2 plays, maybe 3 at most, were Brock Purdy improvising and Juwan Jennings making fantastic plays. Deebo Samuel, you remember him? That guy was a 0 in this game. When's the last time Deebo Samuel was a 0 against the Seahawks? ever. And they needed him today. And then you keep going down the line. CMC, Christian McCaffrey was not a major difference maker in this game. And he was running hard. And guys, they kept running the exact same play, the exact same kind of crack toss play that they ran in the first play against the Seahawks last year on the field, went for 72 yards and a touch or whatever it was. They could not find space. They could not find space today. And I'm just so proud to be a fan of the Seahawks, given what they've done. Think about, this has been a season of such extremes. They went from being the best defense in the NFL in a lot of categories to being the worst defense in the NFL in a lot of categories, almost historically bad as a run defense, to now they've faced two of the best offenses they faced all year and played their best football, and it looks repeatable. It looks repeatable. This didn't look like a fluke. This didn't look like they just, got lucky. They shut them down. And so I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the year. But as far as I'm concerned, this one win validates the entire season. It validates the direction that this team is taking. It validates that Mike McDonald is doing things that I love Pete Carroll, and I'll keep saying that. He and his defensive coaching staff has not even come close to approaching what we just saw from the Seahawks defense in this game. So I'm really encouraged. We'll talk about the offense as well. What a big game for Geno Smith as well. But there's a lot to talk about. But it just feels nice that we've got basically, I wouldn't say we're playing with house money, but I kind of feel like we're playing with house money the rest of the year. Let's see what we can frickin' do.
I mean, we talk about the rest of the schedule. I posted it earlier today. I don't want to say anything. They might go on a certain run here. They might go on a run. They might. And we talk about what this means for like the NFC West and everything. How about the state of the Niners? Like zoom out for a second. That window is closed. It's closed. Their defense is massively regressed. Brock Purdy looked really inaccurate today, by the way. He was totally off all game. I almost wonder if he actually, I'm not even going to give him a little bit of an excuse. He was bad. He was inaccurate all day. They're about to pay that guy $60-something million, top of the QB market, this offseason or next. Like, it's coming down the pipe. Christian McCaffrey might not be the same guy post this injury. There's a lot of questions about what he's going to look like post-injury, and I'm not sure he may return to the CMC that we knew before. So Debo, like you said, total non-factor. His cap hit's going to be insane for the 49ers next year. He's going to be gone. Ricky Pearsall, I know, coming back from the injury, but like, did he even get a reception today?
Did he play today? Jeff John,
I don't even know.
I think he had one catch that was like a loss of yards.
I didn't see him. I mean, I'm sure he played, but like, he was been a big part of their offense, and he was completely wiped out. Evan, I just got to jump on what you said, because that was the thing that really just made this so delicious. The Seahawks ended the 49ers today. They ended the 49ers. Like, the 49ers are 5-5, 1-3 in the division. They've lost to every team in the division so far this season. They've lost to every team in the division, and they've lost 2 of those games in San Francisco. So there's not a story to be told where this 49ers team is going to get better. Brock Purdy can get better. There's other guys that can get better. Trent Williams, George Kittle, like, all these guys are not going to get better the rest of their careers.
And you know who the Niners play the next 2 weeks? Have you guys seen their schedule?
No.
Say it.
Packers at Packers, and at Bills.
Wow.
It's going to be last place.
5-7, baby! 5-7.
So, Brian, I don't know if Grant's still around, but my comparison looks pretty good right now, man.
The 2015, yeah.
There was losses that resembled the Cardinals-Rams losses resembled some very similar. Do you remember the loss the Seahawks had to the Panthers that year where Greg Olsen scored a touchdown in like the final seconds of the fourth quarter? That was this game. It was the exact same thing. It's like scary reminiscent. And the Seahawks were never the same after that year. And I don't want to dunk on them right now, but I
Now
got
you do.
I'm going to dunk on something else. And Grant already did it himself. That tweet where David Lombardi said they got better every single position, including tight end, is one of the funniest, dumbest tweets I've ever seen in my life. Today is a perfect example. The linebacker's getting roasted by Geno Smith in the last drive of the game. George Kittle is out. The backup tight end is in. But he said the tight end position got better. Did anyone even play? Probably not the best day for that Deebo Samuel leak, but he kind of screwed up the game where they're going to have to do that halfback pass across, and Witherspoon tackles him right away. And I don't want to hear anything about Ayuk being out or anything like that. Juwan Jennings was Superman. He played that X receiver as well as anyone could. So I don't want to hear that. But it's so funny. The idea that as soon as Bosa went out, the game totally changed. And to say their D-line got better, their secondary got better, it's laughable. And I'm so happy that this happened.
Let's talk about this for a second, because there'll be some storyline about this, and I'm just going to let's end that right now. Yes, they were without George Kittle. Yes, Trent Williams was hurting. Yes, Nick Bosa was hurting and then came out. Fine. Did you see how many Seahawks were out the first game? And not only that, how many of the Seahawks teams in the past 6 years would have won this game?
No.
I'd say zero.
No.
So I don't want to hear about that. They went into Tampa Bay last week with a similar group, and they've gritted out a win, and Brock Purdy threw for 358 yards. This is a top 5 offense by any measure. It's a top 5 defense by any measure going into this game. And the Seahawks just beat that team on the road, and they just stole their souls. So, if they start coming up with excuses, honestly, that just makes it more delicious, because you know what? If you're having to come up with why you lost to the Seahawks, we've been there, guys. It's not a fun place to be, and they can just take it. I do want to let know there's so many amazing super chats and membership gifts. There's no way for me to put those on the screen with my phone, so appreciate it. I won't be able to put them all on there. Maybe, Evan, if you look at Starred, if there's any questions that you want to put up there, let's make sure we recognize people that are doing that. But can I just say for a second, the human side of this, not for us, for Geno Smith. Geno Smith has been trashed by everyone in the league. He's been trashed by the Seahawks fan base, a lot of the Seahawks fan base. Not all of them, but a lot of the Seahawks fan base. And he knew in that first game against the 49ers that he knew the reputation he had. And he was so upset. You could see how upset he was that he wasn't able to pull it off. He came in this game, not only does he lead the game-winning drive, he scores the game-winning touchdown on his feet. Good for him, man. Good for him. And in addition to Geno Smith, good for Olu Oluwatimi coming in here, getting a chance to step in. Good for Abe Lucas.
Hell yeah.
There are certain people on this chat who said he didn't exist and that it wasn't going to matter. And fuck all of you guys, because he existed and he played a damn good game today. He wasn't perfect, but he was a hell of a lot better than the 4th string right tackles we've been seeing. So everyone else can suck it, because Abe Lucas does exist. So I love the human side of what we saw from the Seahawks. And man, now the locker room start having some fun, and fun teams play a lot differently.
Hey, Brian, you're missing one key player who hit a 52-yard field goal and then a 57-yard field goal, 6 points. That matters a lot in a game that's this low scoring. Who was that player? Do you remember his name?
I'm glad you brought it up, because he deserves a huge amount of credit. I'm no jokes. The Seahawks don't win without those 2 kicks, and that 57-yarder after they lost all those yards on the interception, that was clutch, man. He played, and I kept waiting for him to miss one of the extra points and make he played a great game. I really think he deserved a game ball. I thought this was the best Jason Myers game as a Seahawk for my money. Like, I really, really respected what I saw from Jason Myers today.
And like, I don't want to make special teams a big story, but like the kind of the narrative around Kyle Shanahan is he doesn't care about special teams at all. Like, it drives a lot of the 49ers bloggers, and it's kind of like one of his limitations. Game on the line. Seattle doesn't even have a punt returner back. They're sending 9 guys. They couldn't pin them deep there. Sent Seattle to the 20. That set up the game-winning drive, and that was a huge choke by this coach that thinks they're too arrogant to believe in special teams. Kendall Roy himself lost another game. Everyone's going to be wondering where his daddy is right now, where Mike Shanahan is. Choked again. Where's the Kendall Roy staring into space meme? How many games could Kyle Shanahan choke again?
Who's Kendall Roy? I honestly don't know. You got to fill me in.
It's from Succession. Kyle Shanahan exhibits these Kendall Roy vibes.
They look the same.
They do. They look the same. They do.
I have not heard any of the post-game press conference for Shanahan. I have to imagine it was ugly, man.
He must have been testy.
Well, so let's take a little bit of fun walk there. You talked about some of the 49ers press, especially David Lombardi. You talked about some of these 49ers coaches. When's the last time they were part of a bad team? What's the last time that they had a disappointing, true adversity to talk about? I don't know that Shanahan has not dealt with adversity well. He's not handled criticism well. I think he's going to start melting down. I think that guys like Lombardi are not going to know how to cover this team properly. He's going to start biting back at 49ers fans that are saying totally normal, truthful things. That's going to be almost as enjoyable as watching the Seahawks leapfrog them in the standings. And Evan, I got to tell you, I hope you didn't tear up your bet, because I think it's still alive, baby.
They played the Cardinals twice, but
they got the Cardinals twice. They got another Rams game. They got a chance. They got a chance to win this division.
I did not believe the draft.
They're a better team than the Rams. And I think they're a better team than the Cardinals with the way they played the last 2 weeks.
I don't know if I'm there yet.
What? You're giving the Cardinals way too much credit.
I hope I'm wrong. I just find their offense still too disjointed.
Sure. But this was a very good defense that they played today.
Oh, no. I know. Hey, prove me wrong. Next week is a fun game.
So we have a problem.
Rick's he's gotten in the drink. I think hope the wife or the girlfriend doesn't know what he's doing with his wallet tonight.
You asked for it, dude.
I made a promise. Can I just say something? Fuck Brock Purdy. Fuck Kyle Shanahan. Fuck George Kittle. Fuck Lenore.
Oh, my God.
Fuck Trent Williams. Fuck Steve Lombardi. Fuck the 49ers. Fuck them all.
Rick, you are my hero, man.
That is not necessarily a approved message from I don't want to get kicked out of this stadium, but that was epic, dude. That was epic. His name is Evan Hill. You can find him probably not on Twitter anymore. Probably only on Blue Sky. Evan, you look fantastic. You look like a stone mate, man.
Oh, my God.
A new skincare routine?
Your dog is going to have a field day with you.
Okay, I'm going to screenshot this, and I'm going to make a new custom emoji for any YouTube members
Let's
want to use
go.
it. We'll have Pumpkin Pie Evan.
Probably should not have done this on a $4,000 MacBook, but here we are.
Dude, I'm so happy we got that
Let's have
moment.
some fun.
Yeah,
let's have some fun, you know?
How do I match that?
You don't, Jeff. Please don't try.
Yeah, there's no cakes or pies near me at all.
On a maybe a little bit negative note, why is Zach Charbonnet playing?
I can't. Oh my God, dude. He is so brutal. I don't know, man. He's a power back with no power right now. Every time he touches the ball, it's like a piece of us die.
Is one of you yes.
Cannot. Yeah, it was very frustrating to see him in the game in that moment. By the way, if anyone was curious, on that third down sneak that everyone thought Geno got, Mike McDonald thought he got it too and was going to challenge. The refs told him that there was a replay assist and that they were not going to approve it. So that's pretty frustrating because I think they got that wrong.
They did. He got it.
That's crap, man.
And the fact that they didn't even measure it, there, and they kind of rushed into the fourth down play, that was bad. That was really bad.
So we talked about Jason. What about DK Metcalf? Did DK Metcalf get some flowers a little bit for – this is a guy that ran a bad route against 49ers, caused an interception last game, has had just like been dunked on by the 49ers. What were his numbers today?
I think 7 for 70, I believe.
Yeah, I don't want you ruining your laptop.
Let me pull it up. Yeah, 7 for 70 on 9 targets.
See, that's a very credible game for a guy that they are absolutely dedicating all their coverage to stopping. He made some tough catches. There were some catches he could have made that
He
would
did,
have made even
the linebacker.
better. But I thought this was a good, solid game for DK Metcalf. Thank God he kept his feet in on that first catch of the final drive.
Oh, my God.
When I first saw the replay, I was like, oh, no.
I know.
On. But he did. So,
Okay. Can I say one more thing? Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, of course you can.
You're not listening to the broadcast. Greg fucking Olsen. Fuck Greg Olsen. He was talking shit that entire fucking podcast. Or that entire fucking
Podcast.
He was trying to start a conspiracy that DK did not get his feet down on that catch. Literally.
Who told you to put the pumpkin pie on your face?
Oh, I incentivized it in the chat. I said if somebody donates $100, I'll do it.
He did.
Oh, my God.
And that's when Rick gave the $100.
Rick, you really spent wisely.
Look at dude's nose right now.
Oh, my God.
I actually thought Olsen seemed very complimentary of McDonald. He seemed to really respect McDonald and his game plan. And
so, give me an example, since I wasn't listening.
there was a lot of examples where he talked about their coverage and what they were doing on third downs and how they were really aligned really, really well. There was 4 or 5 times in the game where he was crediting how they lined up Ernest Jones, how they used Witherspoon to disrupt. He seemed really impressed with McDonald, and a lot of Olsen's shots in the past have been at Pete, and it has uses of Russell and things like that. And I don't know, I heard it kind of differently. And funny enough, Russell went 0 for 6 in the red zone today and threw an interception. Geno wins the game, so that story's kind of fading a little bit. But they won Pittsburgh. But yeah, I was very annoyed with Olsen historically. He seemed to really respect McDonald, which was kind of nice.
So, speaking of McDonald, a couple things I want to raise. Sorry, they're mowing back here. It's going to get loud and out every once in a while. But I swear the guy's just doing this to screw with this broadcast. But
oh, yeah, they for sure.
So, Devin Witherspoon, just spoke with him, and he said Coach McDonald has gotten his bag, where it was his words. And the implication there is they finally have played sound enough defense on first and second down that he's able to do some things that he wasn't comfortable calling before. So not only are we seeing just a better defense, from a disciplined perspective, but now he's able to start getting into some of the more creative parts of his play calling, and I think that's just huge. It's huge to see. The other thing I wanted to call out is Mike McDonald made some really ballsy decisions this week. And not just this week, over the past few weeks. He made the decision, with John Schneider, to trade Jerome Baker, to bring in Ernest Jones, to give a 4th-round pick. Is anybody Anybody out there want to complain about giving up a 4th-round pick for Ernest Jones right now? Anybody?
No.
Because you're not watching football if you're complaining about giving up a 4th-round pick for Ernest Jones. That guy's going to be our middle linebacker for the next 6 years, and he's going to be great.
He's good.
He's good, man. He was fantastic in this game.
Yeah.
He made the decision to get Roy Robertson-Harris to say we're not going to play Mike Morris and Miles Adams. Roy Robertson-Harris did not play, I didn't think, a ton today, but when he did, he was stout.
He was stout.
He was doing his thing. They made the decision to cut Tyrell Dodson, their leading tackler. That was this big story. Tyrese Knight, did Tyrese Knight have a bad play today?
No, he was better. He was a clear upgrade, it looked like to me.
Dude, he was great today. And he was also good in coverage, which has been some of the question, right? So I think that we have to say Mike Macdonald's judgment, especially on the defensive side of the ball, has been freaking good. And all these things about, like, is this team really bought into him? Can he handle the locker room? The vibes in the locker room are off. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm in the locker room. I don't think the vibes are off. Are they happy they've been losing? No. But these guys are bought in to what Mike Macdonald's doing, and this win, I think, only increases that. So I am so happy for Coach Macdonald because now he can start doing his job. He doesn't have to be on his heels. He can start leaning in, and I want to see what that looks like.
I thought this was the signature moment of his season for sure, and like Devin Witherspoon, he unleashed him today, and that was the kind of disruptive performance we wanted to see. He causes that interception. We saw a big pass breakup. He caused missed throws. He got beaten coverage a couple times by Jennings, where his coverage was actually pretty good, but this was kind of the game we were waiting to see from him. And there wasn't a sack or anything like that or a pick, but man, that Hankins pick was, he tips the ball into the air. And we're seeing a guy maximize their D-line again, was fantastic. And I don't know like what kind of pressure numbers Williams and Murphy had, but they were stout. And like the plays Ernest Jones was making in run defense against McCaffrey, he was excellent. He was assignment correct. He was a good tackler. And like other than that one missed tackle really on Jennings in space where they had 3 guys there, and I wanted to rip out my hair. But this was just a steady assignment correct, the kind of detailed performance we've been wanting to see. So look, I still got a lot of questions about how the offense is working, but if you wanted to know why this team hired Mike Macdonald, there was chatter. Was Mike Macdonald a bust? Was he one and done? Is he the right guy? Like, kind of dunking on McVay and Shanahan in back-to-back weeks. That's what someone like Evan would have dreamed of the last few years. And to see it happen, and now we got some more tests coming up and see if we can build on that even more. It's fun to watch them play defense again, Brian. That's been something you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
For a long time.
You know what? It's a process, guys, because the first step is just to not be an absolute dumpster fire. Like, not to be so bad that you like want to rip your eyes out. Like, that's how bad it's been for years, and even into this year for a number of those games. So now they've stabilized, and they haven't been like amazing. They haven't been like, oh my God, this defense is dominant.
No.
But now they're incredibly credible. Like, every drive against them the last 2 games, the opposing team had to earn it every single time. And so now you go from that, and the guys start believing. You start calling more exotic plays. You start having more confidence. And then more really fun stuff starts happening. And I want to call out Reek Woolen, because I think this is another guy that I think gets an unfair rap from fans. This is I think it's going to come out to be a very typical Reek Woolen game. He didn't make a lot of plays. There was a couple plays where he was in tight coverage, ball got completed, fine. But there was nothing downfield against him. He was always close to his player. He never gave up yards after the catch. I thought he had an excellent game today. I think it's going to show when people watch the film. I think he was super sticky today. And that's part of the vision here. Devin Witherspoon, Reek Woolen. I thought Julian Love had a nice game today. I thought Kobe Bryant had another nice game today.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like, let's go. Let's go.
Kobe Bryant had a huge tackle in space in a key moment of the game to get off the field. And, man, how nervous were you guys with 12 seconds left when they were going to try to drive? I was terrified.
Let me tell you guys. Remind me, what are the 49ers fans called? What do they call themselves?
Evan?
What do the 49ers fans call themselves?
The Bang Bang Gang.
No. That too. But what do they call themselves?
The Niner Faithful?
The Faithful. Guys, I'm here to tell you, this is a 49ers team, was one of the favorites to get to the Super Bowl this year, have all these big players. They have their fancy stadium down here. They're coming off a win on the road. They're trying to first time over 500, I think. It was half empty in here. I'm not even exaggerating. It was half empty. It wasn't even like it cleared out at the end. It was half empty the whole game. I don't get it. Like, I don't know how you call yourself the Faithful and have a half empty stadium in a team that's supposed to be in their Super Bowl window. Like what is that? How do you rationalize those two things? Anyway, it was not loud. They were streaming out. They were walking out of the stadium pretty dang early. And I thought it was poignant that there was 12 seconds left on the clock when Geno Smith scored his touchdown. Because that's what a real fan base looks like. So, not a good look for 49ers fans today. All right.
That window's closed.
Oh, the window's over. Go.
I was just going to say, it's a reflection of the state of their franchise right now. I think this could get very nasty very quick for the 49ers. Like, if they don't make the playoffs, which I think is very possible, Kyle Shanahan might not be their head coach. Like, I really do believe that's possible. And
just bananas.
It sounds like the seat is warm over there, and regression will not be tolerated. So it could just change very quickly.
I still can't believe you had pumpkin pie on your face a few minutes ago. I'm going to be dealing with that. I'm going to be dreaming about that, I think. But can we just say that Anthony Bradford had maybe the funniest penalty you've ever seen? Like, what was that false start?
I missed it.
He fell or something. Like, he lost his balance and fell into a false start. Right?
It was bad. It was quite horrific.
Somebody on social media every week posts that he's like the most confusing player because every week he'll be like caught in a very confused looking situation. And I feel like this only continues the trend.
I thought that he was not, I don't know whether he's going to grade out as, but I thought in general, this was a good Anthony Bradford game. I did not see a lot of quick beats like that we've been seeing against him. I thought Laken Tomlinson also played a little bit better. And I think we got to ask the question, is Oluwatimi an upgrade? Did he play a better center, and did that help the guards? I don't know, because I like that's something I'd have to watch again.
Yeah.
But it felt like I saw a couple blocks that Oluwatimi made that was like, oh, all right, that's impressive. I'm going to be really curious to see what his grade is coming out of this game. What else, guys? What have we not talked about? Anything else?
Go ahead.
How happy are you that Deebo Samuel's not a Seahawk, that we didn't draft him?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That was the worst. That was the worst thing I've ever seen.
So Geno is doing some sassy quote tweeting of
go Geno.
And
what is he doing?
At 49ers corner, I don't know how to say his last name. Is it Lenoir?
Yeah.
Lenoir had retweeted like late last year something disrespectful to Geno, and Geno just retweeted that because Lenoir has been tweeting tonight like talking shit basically. He said he was going to break that chin strap next time I catch you, he said.
Who does after a loss? Like, what are you, like you're not Richard Sherman, dude. Like, he gave
up some plays today. Lenoir did.
He did.
Like I thought JSN cooked him a couple times.
He did.
And I thought DK did as well. So,
I mean,
I don't know, man.
So trivia time.
Okay.
How many yards does JSN have in the last 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. I can't. What was the game before the Rams?
I know it's like 400 over the last 2.
Not 400. Or receiving yards only, I should say. But
we had 180, and then he had like 120
today? So 300. So 300.
300. Yeah, sorry.
Over the last
my math is
3
awesome.
weeks, you're saying?
360? 370?
370.
370.
Damn.
So disappointing. What a bust of a first-round pick. Like, what the hell? I mean, I don't want to dunk on Seahawks fans. I know I just did. But, like, when things go wrong, everyone just sees everything. You've heard of rose-colored glasses. There's, like, brown-colored glasses. Like, everything's shit. And everyone's shit. And, look, JSN is an excellent player. Do I think he's going to be a number 1 receiver? I don't know. But he's at least opened up the question. And now if you look back at that draft class, of those receivers drafted in that group, I think he's having certainly a better year than Jordan Addison.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what Zay Flowers' numbers are, but I wouldn't be surprised if JSN is right there with him. And Quentin Johnston is like, I don't know where he's at, but I think the Seahawks made a good pick there. And by the way, when he proves that he's making a good pick there, you got to give John Schneider credit. Like, people keep going vacillating back and forth about John Schneider being bad or good. His drafts the last few years, generally speaking, have been pretty good. I think there's definitely some picks he'd want to go differently. Tyrese Knight looks like a good pick. I think AJ Barner looks like a good pick. I thought Byron Murphy had a good game. I don't know, like, he's not going to have a bunch of stats, but I saw some pretty impressive beats today as well. So
drew a couple holding penalties too. A couple big holding penalties.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh man, I don't want to leave. I just want to stay here for the whole week and just like savor this, man.
Well,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, man. The whole game was just crazy because like that drive at the end kind of just felt like the stakes for Geno Smith. Like, I don't know if we've covered this. Like, that felt like his kind of Seahawks career on the line. And I'm not saying that solidified his career, but if things went wrong there, the story all week would have been Geno. And if he didn't get it done, the Niners would have been talking. And I don't know if it's rightfully so because they got stopped on 4th down. But that would have been the story, man, if he didn't get that drive done at the end. And so I thought that was such a monumental moment for him to do that in the stadium where he's been getting crushed. So that was a really cool thing to see, man.
It's almost so much better that the 49ers fans have spent all this time telling everybody how crappy Geno is, and they lost to him. So even if they're right, what does that say about the 49ers?
Yeah.
So I do want to ask you guys, what was your take going into this game? Like, when this game started, what was your vibe? And then before the last drive, when the Seahawks got the ball with a chance to win, what was your level of confidence? Because I'll tell you, going into this game, I predicted a win, but I was like, I didn't know what was going to happen. And on that last drive, I was not confident. I wasn't like, oh, we're screwed. But I wasn't like, oh, they're going to win. I was like, they're probably not going to win. So tell me where you guys, Evan, where were you to start this game emotionally? And like, where were you at the start of that first drive or that last drive?
Yeah, so earlier this week, I was moderately hopeful that something very stupid would happen and they might eke out a win. But going into today, I was not expecting anything. Like my emotions got far more negative the closer we got to today's game started. So by this, even like halfway through the game, honestly, guys, like I was starting to build a little bit of hope, but I still was emotionally very much like, they're not winning this game. They're going to keep it close. But, defense is performing San Francisco 49ers. I'm trying to talk louder. That Niners team is going to squeak it out in the second half. And to be quite honest with you guys, like this offense and Geno, honestly, particularly, has had some confidence, like shaking moments this season where it just felt like, he's a good football player, but it reduced my confidence in his ability to execute in those sorts of moments. So in the final drive, frankly, guys, I was like, they might get close, but maybe he throws a pick. No, like he totally shocked. I mean, I was jumping off the couch screaming. I didn't expect it to happen. So, and I just got to say one more thing. Like, see Mike's spin move. Griff is so right about this. One of Gino's best qualities is how resilient that guy is. Like, he may go down and throw like a really bad pick, but there's a good chance he turns the corner on the next drive. Like, that's just the reality. So, I'm stoked.
Jeff, where are you?
Like going into the game, like I thought we were going to lose the game. I thought, like, I was just hoping for, honestly, my hope was that they would just show that they belong to be on the field. So for the most part, I was pretty satisfied with what I was seeing. I was kind of getting rattled by how close it felt that the Seahawks were from like having a great game, and they just kept falling so close. And after that fourth down stop, I was really shook. The game felt like it was going to end the exact same as the Rams game. It was going to be the exact same story. I couldn't handle another week of those conversations. And then they go out, and then Gino takes that sack on first down where he has a chance to throw the ball away. And I'm like, oh, dude, like he's not going to get it done. Like my confidence was low the whole drive. Like I didn't think they were going to get it done. And the thing with Gino is he's not great in the red zone. And so, like, as they were getting closer, the weird part about this offense is, like, I get nervous the closer they get to the goal line. I don't feel good about it. So I felt crappy the whole time. And when he scored and proved me ultimately wrong, I let out a noise that I didn't think I was capable of making. And it's for sure scared the guy I was watching with. And, yeah, it was, like, pure elation because I didn't think they were going to do it. My confidence was exactly what you said, Brian. And so I went from a game where, like, I was listening to Mina Kimes' podcast last night. And Ben Solak picked them to win. And I was like, what? And Mina's like, I like a lot of things going on, but, like, Tyrese Knight's going to get torched by Shanahan. And then she did the whole Shanahan meme, all the stuff. And I was kind of sticking in my head. I'm like, Ben Solak's pretty smart. So, like, it was kind of odd he picked them not only to cover, to win. And so I was kind of wondering, like, maybe there's something here. But then that game, like, I was kind of a roller coaster of emotions because it felt so close. And then they did it. So that was a wild day for me. I was all over the place.
People are asking me to mute. I was on mute that whole time. So I don't know what else you guys are hearing. We'll wrap up here in a sec. I was really resigned to this being a moral victory after they didn't get that first down on fourth down. And to your point, Jeff, there's only so many moral victories you can have. Like,
yeah.
We did see enough from the defense that I was going to look forward to it, but this is different. And I swear, guys, Evan says this all the time. Evan's like, oh, we're going to go on a run. We're going to run the table. Like, that's Evan. I like the idea, but before this game, I looked at this and I was like, if they get this win and they get the win in a way where the defense plays really well, here's the thing about a good defensive team. You are in every game. There is no team that can run you off the field if you are a good defensive team. I think this is a good defensive team right now. And I think you've got the quarterback that has the most fourth quarter comebacks, the most game-winning drives of any quarterback in football. I think those two things together, there's not a team left on the schedule that I'm particularly worried about. So let's see. Like, I think they played the best teams that they're going to play. And I'm really looking forward to this Arizona game.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is a team that I think the Seahawks are like 3-1 on the road somehow, I think. And they've lost all these games at home. They got to win that game against Arizona. And I think they're going to. So, all right. Any last words? Final thoughts from you, Evan Hill, Pumpkin Pie Face.
Go Hawks. Fuck the 49ers. Their window is closed. What a win. What a statement win for Mike Macdonald. This defense. Mike Macdonald likes to talk about stacking things. Talk about stacking a defensive performance week over week. They've got this thing going in the right direction against two brilliant offensive-minded head coaches. I'm really excited about the trajectory of this football team. They might not make the playoffs still. They might not, win a ton of games the rest of the year. But this is a statement season-defining win, something that Pete Carroll was not able to accomplish in the last several years. Really the last 6 years, right? The last 6 years of his career with Seattle. So couldn't be more excited. And This win feels really good. Like I haven't felt something like this in a while with this Seahawks team. So just happy.
Jeff, final thoughts.
Yeah, Evan covered it so well. I can't remember the last Seahawks game I was truly joyful about. And that was a roller coaster day. So I think the cool part is like that was kind of like the feather in the cap for Mike McDonald. He really needed that after the way things were trending, the vibes talk, the building being weird. I'm really excited about what they can do for defense. I'm back to kind of where I started, where I don't care about how many games they win and lose. I care about what I can see. And what I can see right now is they're playing good defense. If they can do that the rest of the year, my whole excitement about the direction of the team is going to change. There's still 7 more games. I need to see it. But again, I don't care what some of the stats or the PFF grades say. I know what I can see. And they have to keep building on it. If they fall apart the rest of the year, then it's an outlier. But again, I hope they don't get away from realizing what their problems are. That offensive line is still not out of the woods yet. We need to address this. But Olo Timmy, like nice game. He was steadying. And so, again, I don't want us to get away from like what the issues were. Like the offense is still too disjointed. They're still weird with under center and shotgun and Ryan Grubb. I'm still not sure about that dude, I'll be honest. But I'm not going to take that today. We're going to enjoy the hell out of this win. Screw you, 49ers. Screw you, Lenore. I am going to enjoy the hell out of this. I don't care what happens for a couple weeks.
Well said, fellas. Thank you for joining. If you guys haven't given the show a like and click subscribe, please do. I want to thank the Seahawks and the 49ers, to be honest, for granting me credentials to come in today. They were great hosts in all sorts of ways. The food was fantastic. The stadium is nice. And the people I interacted with were great. They also were generous in terms of points they gave up and wins that they allowed. So I appreciate that as well. This has been my first trip to Levi Stadium. If it's going to be like this, I'll make many more. So congratulations to everybody that has been following this show for the last 6-7 years, or even the last few months. You all deserve what we got to watch today. It has been a grind. You've had to defend this team, defend your favorite players, defend your coach against all sorts of people that just said you're shit, you're irrelevant, you're not good, what are you doing? You all get a piece of this victory. We all get to celebrate this together. And that's what makes being a football fan awesome. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thousands and thousands of folks on. Amazing. Sorry about the sound. We did as best we could. I'll be back with you tomorrow with Robert Mays. We'll break down this game. The Bears. Oh, the poor Bears. We'll talk about that, but we'll talk more about this game. And thanks to Evan Hill at Evan Hill HB. If I'm on Blue Sky. Evan, what's your Blue Sky account?
It's the same thing. Evan Hill HB.
Evan Hill HB.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jeff Simmons at Real Jeff Simmons on both platforms. I am Brian Nemhaus. You can find me at Hawkblogger on everywhere. I will be flying back home tonight. I will see you in the morning. Go Hawks. Awesome night.
Hey folks, this is Brian Nemhauser. Thanks for listening to the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Want you to know that Real Hawk Talk is available on all major podcast platforms. Go ahead and subscribe. Have all podcasts delivered directly to your phone after each and every show. And then go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. It helps us out, gets more people to the show. Then, if you haven't already done it, go to patreon.com/hawkblogger and subscribe for just $5 a month. Gets you immediate access to our Slack channel. Join hundreds of folks in that community to talk Seahawks about wins, losses, and all things in between. Not to mention become eligible to win giveaways for Seahawks tickets and get to ask questions of the Real Hawk Talk crew every week on the show. Finally, if you haven't gone to hawkblogger.com recently, head on over. Tail the Tape morning after articles are there every week. Hoping to see you there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the show. Go Hawks.